I'm going to blame this purchase on a bout of temporary insanity. This is the Spooky Village 6-foot flying witch from CVS. It cost $130. I bought it on a whim. Someone left me a comment on my CVS walkthrough video that they would really like to see this reviewed. So I thought, heck, I'm doing a witch theme. I can find a place for it in my display. But it's going to have to be somewhere not prominent because this is 6 foot tall. And when you think about it, that's going to obviously be the height of the broom. So how big is this witch going to be? I'm guessing a 3 foot tall prop, which you know I really can't stand. But I figured if I put this up on the balcony, it might have a bit of an illusion perspective that might make it seem like it's a little bit bigger. Plus, I really wanted something that could be seen, you know, again, from the living room, the main display, but also from the windows outside. So it is what it is. We will make it work. Let's just hope it is somewhat decent. On the back of the box, it kind of gives us an idea of what it does. Sorry, I know the box is very reflective. It says it's sound activated. It has LED, illuminated eyes. Its animated mouths move. It makes it sound like there are multiple mouths. Eerie Halloween sound effects. Requires 3 AA batteries, which are at least included. It's for indoor and outdoor covered use, 6 feet tall. All right, let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. Here are the parts and pieces. Looks like we have some metal supports. We've got a hand holding a very plasticky broom, some broom pieces. Here's the end of the broom. A couple of pieces that are going to make up the base, it looks like. Got the body of the witch. All right, so it is actually not, well, it's a little bit longer than 3 feet, but I'm going to guess not much. It looks like it might be 4 feet. And then we've got some pieces that I think are going to make it look like that cape is flying. Right, we have a nice full color instruction sheet. So let me go ahead and push this table to the side and let's get putting this together. The first thing we want to do is assemble the base support, and I love the fact that it comes apart into a couple of pieces. That's really going to help with storage. In fact, I'm pretty impressed overall with how small this box is. It's going to make storage so much easier. We're just going to push the pins into the holes and they lock together. It becomes a nice sturdy support. Next up, we have our 2 support pieces that are likewise going to just lock into place. We're going to stick the pole in until the push pin locks in place. And here we go, it's coming along. Now we're going to put the broom over the pole. So in the middle of the broom, you can see it does have a tube that gets hidden by the broom bits. There we go. Very easy, coming along. We're going to go ahead and lock that second pole into place. Next, we are going to place the second support pole in place, and we can see this thing is getting quite tall. A couple of different broom pieces. They're both labeled G, so I don't think it matters which one goes first. However, there is a smaller side and a wider side, so that smaller side is just going to pressure into the bottom piece. Before we put on the second piece, we do have another bar that's labeled D that's going to latch into here. And I was having a little confusion because when we put this on, it's fine. We'll be able to put this piece in, but once it's in, it's going to be very difficult to get out because that push pin, well, I guess you can. The push pin is inside the top of the broom there, and it's going to be very difficult to get that out. So hopefully I've assembled that correctly. Then our hand piece slots over it as well and makes the top of the broom. Next, we're going to attach our witch. As you can see, she's got one arm. The other is just a sleeve, and we need to work this sleeve up because we need to attach her arm. So here's the arm piece. The short side, because it makes a little bit of an L there, is going to lock into the arm bar. And now this arm bar is going to connect to the metal rod here. And we're just going to work that sleeve. It's got an elastic right up to the hand. The back of her dress does Velcro open. Before we go ahead and put her cape piece on, let me go ahead and show you. I pulled this mechanism out of the back where you have the battery container, and then there is a power button here, which appears to already be turned on. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. Now, you might be tempted to just put it in through this hole in the back of the dress, but that is not what we want to do because we want it to look like she's flying. So she's got to have a little bit of immodesty here for a moment while we put our hand up the skirt. Now using the hole in the back of the dress, we can see those slots, line everything up, and go ahead and slot it together. Then of course put her cape back in place. And here we can see her from the side, from the different angles. I think it's kind of impressive. Let's go ahead and bring the camera in and we'll take a closer look. Starting with the base of the broom, we can see the bristles covering the mechanism. It's got a lot of detail to it with a little black ribbon, makes it look awfully nice. A little bit of creepy cloth would hide the rest of that base, making it look a little bit more spooky. There is a wood grain to the handle as we move up and take a look at her face. So she has a couple of creepy eyes that obviously light up. I mean, the bulb does stick out a bit from the eyeball, but that little shading around it makes it look bloodshot and extra creepy. That long pointed nose and wrinkles on the face make it a fun, very witchy appearance, including the creepy teeth that look black from age and just witchiness. As we move out, you can see her hands are sculpted as well with lots of wrinkles. It would be nice if the nails perhaps were a little bit different colors. It does look very plasticky in the hand. There is a try me button, pretty prominent on the sleeve. And speaking of the clothing, it does have a bit of a creepy cloth feel, especially this fringe here. But there are a lot of different materials. So you've got a couple of different mesh looking materials. We've got a black lining on her cape, which is sort of blood red and has some holes throughout to give it some aging. The sleeves are purple and black, a little bit nicer. There's a lot of different material going on. As we make our way to the back, it would have been nice if they included some sort of feet or shoes, but it just sort of ends in this fringe. Let's go ahead and move back up to the front. You can see both of the hands from this angle, so from dead on, looks like she's flying right at you. right, so what do you think? There are a few things that I have to comment about. First of all, the phrasing. There's only the one phrase, which is a little bit disappointing. But if you actually use the try me button, it's even an abbreviated phrase. So if you just have it on the regular setting, you get a little bit longer of a saying. And speaking of talking, what I thought were the little black teeth in her mouth, now that I can see it up close, it's actually pads. So that's going to prevent her mouth from making that sort of plasticky clacking noise that you get with some of these cheaper animatronics. So I like the fact that it doesn't do that. And of course, I'm just super thrilled that it isn't just a tiny little 3-foot, which, I mean, obviously it is still a little bit short, but I like the way it looks, especially for an indoor setting. It's not overwhelming, and it's very sturdy, so it doesn't feel like it's going to fall over or anything. I'm pretty impressed with it. A little bit pricey though, at the $130 mark. Of course, like I said, I bought it on a whim. I probably should have looked for coupons. I know you can get like 20% off coupons, at least when I used to buy animatronics from CVS years ago. That's how I did it. And I don't know if they still have those, but if they do, that's going to save you quite a bit of money. Maybe bring this back down into a more reasonable price, because remember, we bought that other, like, the witch marionette animatronic from Home Depot. It was only $100. It had multiple phrases, it moved, there's a lot to it, it was pretty cool. So I think that that's perhaps a little bit better value, but on the other hand, Home Depot can afford to do that probably a little bit more than CVS. So anyway, let me know what you think. I will show you at the end of the video, stay tuned, we're going to see it in action, where I plan to put it, to test that out and see how it looks. Of course, my display's not ready yet, so you're going to have to wait until our Halloween walkthrough in just a couple of weeks, when we're going to show you what the inside looks like completely finished. She might have a little bit of a different display at that point. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Till next time, take care, and happy haunting.